First up is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, the highly anticipated sequel that builds magnificently on its predecessor. This open-world masterpiece expands the original Hyrule experience with new sky islands and underground depths to explore. The innovative Fuse and Ultra Hand abilities completely transform how players interact with the environment, allowing creative solutions to puzzles and combat encounters. Link can now attach objects to weapons, build vehicles, and construct elaborate contraptions. The game maintains the freedom of exploration that made the first game special, while adding layers of complexity that keep veteran players engaged. Every corner of this vast world holds secrets waiting to be discovered. Second comes Metroid Dread, marking Samus Aran's triumphant return to 2D side-scrolling action after nearly 2 decades. This atmospheric adventure perfectly balances exploration with intense combat encounters that demand precise timing and strategic thinking. The Emmy robots create genuine tension as they patrol specific zones, forcing players to think quickly and move carefully to avoid instant death. Samus feels incredibly responsive to control, with her arsenal of weapons and abilities gradually expanding throughout the journey. The interconnected world design encourages backtracking and rewards thorough exploration. Boss battles are particularly memorable, requiring players to master the counterattack system to succeed against formidable opponents. Third is Bayonetta 3, delivering spectacular, stylish action that pushes the series to new heights of over-the-top entertainment. The titular witch returns with her signature blend of graceful combat and provocative charm, now accompanied by kaiju-sized demons for massive battles. Combat flows beautifully between ground-based encounters and airborne spectacles that span multiple dimensions. The game introduces new mechanics while preserving the tight controls and creative combos that define the series. Each chapter presents unique scenarios and boss encounters that keep the pacing fresh and exciting. The visual presentation is consistently stunning, with elaborate set pieces that rival Hollywood blockbusters in their scope and ambition. Fourth on the list is Hollow Knight, a hauntingly beautiful metroidvania that masterfully combines atmospheric exploration with challenging combat. This indie gem features a mysterious insect kingdom filled with secrets, hidden passages, and memorable characters. The hand-drawn art style creates a distinctive visual identity that perfectly complements the melancholic soundtrack. Combat requires patience and skill, with each enemy type demanding different approaches and strategies. The interconnected world gradually opens up as players acquire new abilities, encouraging thorough exploration and discovery. Optional boss battles provide some of the most demanding challenges in modern gaming, rewarding persistence with satisfying victories and valuable upgrades. Fifth is Hades, a roguelike that brilliantly weaves narrative storytelling into its repetitive gameplay structure. Playing as Zagreus, players attempt to escape the underworld through randomly generated chambers filled with enemies and power-ups. Each failed escape attempt advances the story through conversations with a memorable cast of Greek mythological characters. The combat system offers incredible variety through different weapon types and divine boons that modify abilities in creative ways. Voice acting and writing are exceptional, making every interaction feel meaningful and entertaining. The game successfully makes failure feel like progress, encouraging players to embrace death as part of the journey rather than a frustrating setback. Sixth comes Dead Cells, a masterful fusion of Metroidvania exploration and roguelike progression that creates an addictive gameplay loop. This challenging action game features tight controls and satisfying combat that rewards aggressive play and quick decision-making. Each run through the procedurally generated castle feels different due to the variety of weapons, abilities, and route options available. The permanent progression system ensures that even failed attempts contribute to long-term advancement and unlock new content. Visual design is striking, with fluid animations and detailed pixel art that brings the dark fantasy world to life. The difficulty curve is steep but fair, teaching players to adapt their strategies and improve their skills gradually. Seventh is Celeste, a precision platformer that combines challenging gameplay with a deeply personal story about overcoming anxiety and self-doubt. The game follows Madeline as she climbs the treacherous Celeste mountain, facing both physical obstacles and her own inner demons. Controls are incredibly responsive, making the demanding platforming sequences feel fair even when they require dozens of attempts to complete. The assist options allow players of different skill levels to experience the story without compromising the intended challenge for those who want it. Each chapter introduces new mechanics that keep the gameplay fresh while maintaining focus on pure platforming excellence. The soundtrack perfectly complements the emotional journey with memorable melodies and atmospheric pieces. Eighth is Fire Emblem Three Houses, a strategic RPG that successfully blends tactical combat with engaging social simulation elements. Players assume the role of a professor at a military academy, choosing one of 3 student houses to guide through their education and eventual conflicts. The relationship-building mechanics add depth to both story and gameplay, as stronger bonds between characters unlock new combat abilities and story revelations. Battle scenarios require careful positioning and strategic thinking, with permadeath adding weight to every decision unless disabled in settings. The branching narrative paths encourage multiple playthroughs to experience different perspectives on the complex political storyline. Character development extends beyond combat statistics to include personal growth and relationships. Ninth is Animal Well, a unique Metroidvania that prioritizes puzzle solving and exploration over traditional combat encounters. This atmospheric adventure features a distinctive lo-fi art style that creates an otherworldly environment filled with mysterious creatures and hidden secrets. Players must solve environmental puzzles using various tools and items found throughout the interconnected world. The game encourages experimentation and careful observation, rewarding players who take time to study their surroundings and think creatively about solutions. Every screen contains multiple layers of secrets and interactions that reveal themselves through repeated visits and careful exploration. The absence of traditional combat creates a more meditative and contemplative gaming experience. 10th and final is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, a triumphant return for the classic franchise that successfully modernizes the series through Metroidvania design principles. This adventure follows Sargon, the youngest member of an elite Persian guard, as he explores the cursed Mount Kuf in search of a kidnapped prince. Combat feels precise and satisfying, with a variety of time manipulation abilities that create unique tactical opportunities during battles. The platforming sequences